It's not just what our schools are teaching that should bother you. That is the topic of tonight's byline. But let me start with the schools. The Toronto District School Board, that hotbed of tolerance, is trying to explain that it's not promoting polygamy or polyandry to its students. It's just trying to show kids reality. How are they doing this? Take a look at this poster, one of many questionable posters in the school board's Positive Space campaign. Notice there are male and female couples, male and male couples, female and female. Oh, and what's that? Well, there's a pair of hearts showing 3 people in each one. But don't worry, this isn't about polygamy, the board says. Here's a quote from Ryan Bird, their spokesman. First, the board does not support polygamy. The images in question were meant to support an individual's right to choose whom they love. Ryan Bird, TDSB spokesman. I'm sorry, Ryan, but that's just spin, and you know it. A hat tip here now to blogger Blazing Catfur, who brought this to the public, as he has in the past with other crazy ideas from the Toronto District School Board, such as their claim only white people are racist, the Mosqueteria, and some rather less than choice sections of their sex ed documentation. Now, the TDSB just wants your kids to know that if they want a relationship with 2 men or 2 women, that's okay. It doesn't matter who you love. You know, that's kind of the message the Globe and Mail was giving on the weekend when it ran a big piece on the wonders of polyamory. Now, that's not to be confused with the patriarchal polygamy. This is the good kind, where everyone's open, caring, and has lots of sex. The article was a coming out of sorts in the Globe, which still considers itself Canada's paper of record, and really for the elite mucky-mucks, it is. So now Rosedale and Westmount and all the finer neighborhoods of Canada are being treated to glowing reports on polyamory, and your children are being taught about it in school. Ain't that fantastic? Now, hold on a minute here, because I remember when the same-sex marriage issue was being debated, and I really hate to bring this up, but I remember it was being debated and some of us were saying, you know, if you start changing the definition from 1 man and 1 woman to any 2 people, what's to stop it from being changed again to include polygamy? Oh, don't be silly, you bigot. That's what we were told. We were also told this is completely different. Yet here we are a few years later, and there are posters promoting this in our schools, favorable reports in established media, and of course, government benefits per polygamous families in Ontario. That's true. On welfare, it happens in Ontario and elsewhere. There's benefits. And let's not forget that just a couple of years ago, the Green Party proposed adopting a motion to support multiple partner unions at their policy convention. But don't worry, there's no push for this. And people like Lilley are simply, well, the ones asking questions, they're just bigots and backwards. Don't listen to them. Polygamy, polyandry, polyamory, whatever you want to call it, people, it's here and it's getting bigger, and you can't say you weren't warned. Now, I'd like to say that this is your time to speak out on this, but I actually think that ship has sailed and most people didn't even notice there was a ship. I remember a few weeks ago we talked about the political correctness guide out of the Durham School Board, the one that said husband and wife were outdated terms we should avoid, and instead we should always use the term partner. Well, in the middle of that guide is a chart on tolerance and equity. According to the folks that peddle this stuff, we can no longer just tolerate something. That's not equitable. Now we have to embrace it and celebrate it. Right now we're in the tolerance building stages for the poly lifestyle, and soon, well, that's what it's going to be called, so get used to it, the poly lifestyle. But within 5 years, it will be considered bigoted in official circles to speak out against this. Culture matters, people, and ours is under attack. It's time to wake up. And that's the byline. Now, of course, pushing polygamy on your children isn't the only thing the Toronto District School Board is up to. Let's bring in Sun News columnist Joe Warmington to talk about this. Joe, you were writing about this in the Toronto Sun this morning. There's a whole poster campaign going on it. And so beyond the polygamy bit, they've got the, hey, kids, why don't you cross-dress bit, don't they?
You know what? I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to take from it but that. I mean, they've got people dressed up in transgender outfits.
They got that little boy dressed up like Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and you know, and it's very ambiguous. So those that are trying to say that it's looking for inclusiveness, there's a lot of intelligent people that, you know, understand that, you know, it doesn't say that. It just is telling kids, as the headline says, you know, there's no rules whether you're a boy or a girl. So, you know, I know what it is. You know what it is, Brian. and they know
it's
that
going to confuse children, though. I mean, this is...
Of course, that's what it's designed.
This is part of what's going on. You try and talk to children about a lot of these things, and children do see the world in black and white. And you raise things with them too early, which is part of my complaint for a long time now, is they're pushing stuff younger and younger, and they hear about these things and they just say, that doesn't make sense, Daddy. What are you talking about?
But the key is that doesn't make sense, Daddy, is a conversation with you and your children. It's a whole different deal when that doesn't make sense to someone that you have not given permission to be a co-parent with. And
there's that word again.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. This is propaganda, Brian. This is propaganda. It's put up on a poster in a wall, and the kids see it, and nothing may be discussed at all. We don't know what the kid thinks when they see it.
So what are you hearing back? I mean, the school board saying, "Oh, don't read too much into this." I'm sorry, I'm reading a lot into it. But what are you hearing from other people?
They work for us, and what should happen is there should be some accountability and explanation of who decided this. What is the genesis of this program? How has it been tested? Is it legal? I mean, I've been told that the dress code has been violated in this thing. And so, you know, every other rule is, seems to be followed in this TDSB or anywhere in the public world. And so why are these people able to put this up unchecked without anybody knowing about this program?
I feel bad for parents that are in Toronto. We do a lot of stories on the Toronto District School Board, not because I'm obsessed with Toronto, but they really seem to be doing social experiments on children in ways that I think is going to be, they'll realize they're harmful later down the road. Look, quick question for you before we go, Joe. You've got the Afrocentric school, the black school that was started a little while ago. Now there's apparently a move to start a gay and lesbian school. The black school got 6 students and 3 teachers. After a lot of hullabaloo, 6 students. Now they say, oh, that's such a success, let's replicate it with a gay school?
Well, there's actually a big meeting tomorrow night here, Brian, in Toronto to talk about it. The Toronto District School Board is on board, apparently going to be there. They're developing this program. They have a thing called the Triangle Program, which is a school for kids that are being bullied, like a refuge kind of place to protect them and shelter them. This is not that. This is an all-out, like you say, Afrocentric concept, where it's the teachers are gay, the students are gay. It's an all-out gay curriculum. And it's something I've never heard of before.
So, let's have inclusiveness, make sure everyone's looked after, include everyone, but we'll have a separate school for you and a separate school for you and a separate school for you. It doesn't make sense to me, but hopefully you'll make sense of it in the paper, Joe.
Well, yeah, there'll be no gay bullies, right? It's just people that aren't gay that are bullies.
All right. That's probably what they're thinking. Let us know what you think. Byline at sunmedia.ca. And, of course, watch for Joe's writings in the paper and online. More to come.